A Tale of Chance Encounters. Imani's Love Story. Written by Kiva Hart. Narrated by Araceli Gote. Chapter 1. An Awkward Encounter.
Her boobs are obviously fake.
My best friend Jada always tries to make me feel better. Too bad I know she's lying through her teeth. With my phone tightly gripped in my left hand, I push my floor's number into the elevator, wondering why I decided to buy an apartment on the 36th floor. Fake or not, she's getting married to my ex-fiancé next week, I tell Jada, who scoffs over the phone.
She's not even pretty.
As if to prove to myself that Jada is right, I tap the speaker button and quickly scroll through my ex's Instagram, concentrating on her pictures, my replacement. Brad's replacement for me, Marie friggin' Thorne. I'm fixated on their endless pictures together, laughing, hugging, smiling, eating. But Jada is wrong. My replacement is beautiful. Her body is built like she's the inspiration for all supermodels. Tall, skinny, and perfectly proportional. Blonde, almond eyes, high cheekbones that are sharp and naturally contoured. I hate her. Venom drips from my tone. Already tired of looking at the origin of my dating hiatus, I focus on my moving boxes, which are sitting quietly at my feet.
I'm telling you, she's not that pretty.
Jada presses.
But do you think her boobs are real?
They can't be. My eyes level with the screen.
She wasn't even this pretty when we first met her at his place.
I don't answer, not wanting to relive the memories of that dreadful afternoon. Jada realizes she must have pushed a button and clears her throat.
You know, you could still consider my offer.
I'm not going out with your brother, Jada. Don't even try. I don't care that he just returned to the country or that he's some kind of angel.
Geez, calm down. It's not like you'll escape meeting him anyway.
What do you mean? Jada, I swear, if you're planning something... The elevator dings, interrupting me, and Jada squeals.
Sounds like you need to go now. Call me back when you're settled. Kisses.
The call ends with a click before I can protest. I roll my eyes and pocket my phone before stepping into the hallway. The narrow space is lined by identical doors and vibrant, mosaic-tiled walls, and is softly lit by hanging lanterns. As I make my way to my apartment, clutching my boxes, I can't help the sense of pride that washes over me. I, Imani Turner, now reside in the best apartment building in the country, the legendary Oasis Homes. I will finally settle down tonight to watch the reruns of The Barefoot Contessa on the Food Network in my dream apartment like I've always wanted. My door is slightly ajar when I push it open, thankful that the tight security in the building will cover my carelessness. The living room is the same as I left it the day before. Plush, black velvet couches, antique Persian rug, and a wall adorned with an eclectic sunset painting. I hurl the boxes into the kitchen and start to unpack. That's when I notice the first misplacement in the house. My plates are not black ceramic, they're pure white. I look around again and there are other errors. I can't afford any Le Creuset pots, so I own none. My refrigerator isn't touchscreen, and neither is my oven Wi-Fi enabled. And why the hell is there an unopened box of condoms on my counter? I was about to get those, a masculine voice says behind me, and I blink furiously, confused until I realize someone is standing in the doorway. I know I should be freaking out and fighting the stranger in my kitchen, but something about this guy makes me do a double take and hold his gaze for the space of a breath, not quite ready to let it go. He's gorgeous. Gorgeous in that unattainable, brooding douchebag sort of way. He has dark hair, a chiseled jaw, tan skin, and forest green eyes. Well over 6 feet tall, his shoulders are broad and his waist trim. My eyes stall, unavoidably traveling down his body. That's when I realize that he's naked. I inadvertently gasp as my gaze drops lower than I intended, but my eyes are drawn, as if by a magnet, lower and lower. He's as naked as the day is long, sopping wet, unbothered, and, oh my God, incredibly aroused. "Oh my God!" I cry, more from shock than embarrassment. My mouth hangs open. Lord have mercy. This man has the complete package. And by that, I don't mean good looks, charm, and money. His appendage is ridiculously thick and rigid. "Shit!" I scream, realizing I've been gawking at him, and spin around. It's too late. His naked body is already etched into my memory. "Why are you naked?" I cry. "Because I just had a shower." I blush furiously, realizing my mistake. I am so sorry," I stammer, mortified. "I must have walked into the wrong house. I live next door." "Well, aren't you lucky then? Not every day you get to walk into a hot, naked man's house, huh?" "Could you cover up?" "I don't want to." I reach for a napkin nearby and, without turning back, throw it at him as if that will cover anything. "Don't be a pervert and just cover up. I'll walk out of here." "Don't call me a pervert in my own house. Besides, you looked at me." He sounds proud, and as annoying as that is, I know he's right. "Your eyes gave my body a tour. Weren't you impressed by what you saw?" "Remarkably impressed." "Please, just let me go." "I'm not stopping you." "Then show a little respect." "Do I really have to give up my comfort in my house just because you don't like it? Maybe you could walk out with your eyes closed or don't walk into my house anymore." Then he pauses. "You look like those uptight career women who go around sexually frustrated. Are you unimpressed or just annoyed because you're not having any? If you ever need to see this anytime, just ask." I'm getting pretty frustrated. I know he's a jerk and might push back a bit, but I don't expect him to be so dismissive and amused. It's not just about me, you know. It's about being polite and respecting others. I apologize for intruding, but I still deserve a little respect, and you're not showing that respect. "Look, sweetheart, I don't owe you or anyone else anything. If you can't handle this sexiness, that's your problem, not mine. Find your way out." You might think this is a game, but it's not, I declare, trembling with anger and determination. But he doesn't answer me. I count 1 to 10 before I look back. Thankfully, he's gone. I can't help my frustration as I gather my things and find my apartment next door. I won't let this slide or let him get away with it, even if it means getting him evicted. I feel like a kid who has been scammed of her only candy as I shift things around in my place in frustration. Not only because of how infuriating he is, but because of how, despite the way he treated me and how much of an asshole I know he is, I still can't stop thinking about how hot he looks. Not wanting to dwell on my asshole of a neighbor, I set up my space, paying attention to every detail. 3 hours pass before I am satisfied with what I've done. I admire my work, mentally patting myself on the head. My phone ringing distracts me, but as I look at the caller ID, I feel my stomach sink. Mom. My sudden fascination with my new place plummets as I realize I haven't contacted any family members in 2 months. And now that my mom is calling, I know it won't end well for me. Chapter 2. Kenzie's Announcement. I like to think of myself as an unplanned addition to the world. Or, better still, I've always been made to feel that way by the same people who brought me into it. Still, I feel like the worst daughter ever for ignoring my mother for so long, so I pick up the call.
Look who decided to pick up her call today.
Mom.
We will not talk about this over a phone call. I'll see you tonight.
Tonight?
Of course. You forgot family night?
I close my eyes and let out a sigh. I'll be there.
You'd better be.
I don't want to attend the family night, but knowing Mom's persistence, I'll not hear the end of it. When the call ends, I stand there for minutes, unable to do anything other than dread what will happen when I get home. Mom will certainly have my head, while Dad will sit in silence, giving me a disappointed look. And then, my Kenzie, my only older sister, will giggle as Mom chews me out. But I don't dread all that as much as the boyfriend talk, which I'm sure will happen. They will ask what happened with Brad, and I will have to sift through all my painful memories to narrate how the scumbag cheated on me. At least I'm old enough to drink, and nothing sounds better than going through all that with whiskey burning my throat. Later that evening, I dress up in my most family dinner-friendly dress and stop by the nearest store to buy a bottle of wine. Then I head to my parents'. The house is warm and spotless, like always. The living room is designed with costly and elegant artifacts. Everything looks so new and shiny. The furniture, the decorative ornaments, and the hardwood floor almost make this house feel like an exhibit rather than a home. "Honey, is that you?" My mom calls as she hurriedly makes her way into the living room. Her face lights up when she sees it's me. My mom is a beautiful woman. She's tall with perfect hips, short brown hair, and warm brown eyes. I look nothing like her. She's always dressed up like she expects to run into a paparazzi, even in her living room. I often thought how exhausting it must be to be her, but she seems to love being Christina Turner, the most famous retired actress in Hollywood, and the mother of Kenzie Turner, the most successful actress in the country. Today, Mom is wearing a pale blue pencil dress with white high heels. Her hair is straight, and she has light makeup on. She does not look 50. "Kenzie isn't home yet?" I ask as she pecks my cheek. "You've never been an early bird. They're all waiting for you," she says, slightly annoyed by my comment. "Sorry," I say, following her into the dining room. "Hey, Dad," I say, flying into my dad's open arms. "Sweet Imanila, how are you?" he says, squeezing me tight. I used to cringe when he started calling me Imanila back in middle school, but I began to get used to it when I realized he wouldn't stop. Apparently, he thought he had invented that nickname. I smile, suddenly having the urge to cry. I miss Dad so much. "I'm fine." "Imani, your father wants to eat," my mom says sternly as she serves the food. I let him go. "Sorry, Dad." He shakes his head. "You okay?" he asks, studying my face as if trying to decipher what I've been up to for the past few months. Oh, if only he knew. I nod as we take our seats. "Yeah." He winks at me as he squeezes my hand. He's been the only one present in my life for as long as I can remember. I don't realize that my older sister, Kenzie, is also at the table until she clears her throat. "Hey." Kenzie smiles across the table from me. I return her smile. "Hey." "So what's going on with you?" Kenzie asks. Yeah, the part where she pretends to be interested in my life before she seizes the spotlight. "Nothing," I say tightly. "Oh, come on. Anything interesting? Since when did family night become this boring?" "I'm done moving into my place," I offer. That's something, I guess." Kenzie shrugs and adds, "And Brad?" I feel the tension that follows her question. They know. They know about the breakup, and probably about Brad's coming wedding, yet Kenzie had to ask just to humiliate me. Will I be a bad person if I say I hated my sister? "We're not going to talk about that tonight," Mom quickly intervenes, relieving me. But my relief hadn't even settled before she announced, "Kenzie is getting married." At that, Kenzie flashes her manicured left hand, squealing excitedly. There's a diamond ring on her ring finger. "James finally proposed!" she screams. Wow. Everyone around the table, except me, momentarily go crazy, clapping and squealing and hugging Kenzie. My heart aches as I quietly watch them, unable to believe Kenzie is getting married to James Marlowe, my high school crush whom she snatched from me. But that's not why I feel bad right now. Every time Kenzie achieves something good, I feel like a horrible person, and I end up hating myself. I should be happy for my sister, and I should feel honored that I'm important enough for her to tell me about her engagement, but I hate it. I hate the person I become when I'm around her. I'm never this desperate for attention or acknowledgement, and though it hurts me to see her with James, I've never resented her for having his love. Yet, whenever I'm at home, my head fills with awful thoughts. What if the one dating the popular James Marlowe was me? What if I never brought him home to introduce them that day? What if I refused to attend the wedding? What if I made a move on James and steal him away like she did? I'm better than this. But right now, I'm turning into the most pathetic version of myself. Sweetheart? I look up at my father and he sighs, knowing what's running through my mind. Mom notices it too. Come on, Imani. Don't tell me you still haven't come to terms with the fact that James chose Kenzie, she says crossly. Christina! Dad hisses, but Mom isn't having any of it. I expected this, she fires on. You weren't even dating James anyway. He was just a boy you liked, and he was too old for you. It's been more than a decade. Let it go. Kenzie has waited so long for this day. Don't ruin it. Anger surges through me, and I suddenly want to say something mean. She's broken up with him 3 times, Mom. I don't think she's all that excited. Is she even sure she likes him? Mom looks up sharply, anger flashing through her eyes. That's because being in a relationship is demanding, Imani. You will never understand what it's like to be in a real one. All you did was chase Brad, that stupid Casanova, around. It isn't the same for Kenzie. She knows her worth. Do you think she wanted to break up with him all those times? She did that because she had no choice. You might not get it, but the least you can do is keep silent if you have nothing good to say. I bite my lip hard to stop myself from talking back at her. I suppose it doesn't matter what I do. All she cares about is that I'm not her star daughter. I didn't follow in her footsteps like Kenzie did. My hands tremble as we all sit there in silence. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep opening myself up to this pain to spend time with a mother who always considers me second best to her golden child? I'm not even asking her to treat me the way she treats Kenzie. All I've ever wanted was an ounce of her love. But it seems like that's too much to ask. I stand up feeling numb. Very well then. Congratulations on your wedding. I wish you well, but don't expect me there. With that, I grab my bag and walk away, ignoring my mom roaring my name. This is the last time, I promise myself. This is the last time I'll ever let anyone walk all over me. Chapter 3. A Twist of Fate. I take a detour on my way home, knowing the only person who can stop my endless tears is Jada Baker, my best friend. I'd call her in the car, and she invited me for dinner. Now I'm standing outside Jada's front door, ringing the doorbell. I mentally prepare myself for an evening of relaxation, good company, and perhaps a glass of wine to take the edge off as I wait for her to open the door. I'm surprised when I see that it's a man who opens the door. He's tall, cute, and a little chubby. The warm smile he sends me tells me he's Jada's infamous boyfriend, Chris. Hey, I'm Imani. It's great to finally meet you, I say with a warm smile, even though I'm disappointed he's there. I thought the night would be for Jada and me alone. Chris extends his hand. Nice to meet you too, Imani. I'm Chris. Jada's told me so much about you. I step inside, the welcoming atmosphere of Jada's home enveloping me. It has always amazed me that despite how rich she is, she prefers to live in a cozy apartment. The smell of freshly baked cookies wafts through the air, taking me back to college when Jada would try new food recipes and make me her guinea pig. Wow, it smells amazing in here, I comment, removing my jacket. Chris chuckles. Jada's been baking all day. Blame her recent obsession with cooking. In fact, she wants to be left alone in the kitchen. She asked us to settle down when you come. It's not recent, trust me. I notice the extra plate next to mine at the dinner table as Chris leads me further into the conversation. We go over a range of topics. Talking to Chris is so easy, and I relax in his presence. I know Jada is intentionally taking her time in the kitchen so I can get to know Chris. She didn't date much in college, but she knew I would give her an honest opinion of guys. I've never thought of any of them perfect for her until now. Chris is undoubtedly a match. Is Jada expecting someone else? I finally ask when I can't help my curiosity anymore. Little do I know that the evening will take an unexpected turn. Yes, Xavier, her brother. I understand she's been trying to set you two up. I lean forward and whisper to Chris, how fast do you think you can move on from my best friend? Because I'm going to kill her. You'll have to go through me, he leans forward and whispers back, making us laugh. I have never met Jada's brother, even though I have heard about him several times. According to Jada, he is a real estate guru and the only member of her family who supports her dream of taking over the family business. Also, he's the best big brother in the world who never lets her forget what she's worth, and, in her words, will be perfect for me. Although I've denied wanting to meet Xavier, I secretly wish to. He sounds amazing. Jada brings the food in soon after, almost dropping the whole thing as she flies into my arms. My best friend is the most beautiful woman ever, with her smooth brown skin and a shock of natural, well-groomed dreads. We catch up, teasing each other, and dinner starts soon after. Jada keeps staring at the clock, eagerly awaiting her brother's arrival. Soon enough, the doorbell rings, and Jada springs to the door. I hear sharp whispers like she's scolding Xavier for being late, but then I hear a familiar voice, one that sends shivers down my spine. It can't be. This guy is in your head, Imani. I can't believe you imagine him being here. I mock myself mentally. But as I hear Jada's footsteps approaching, my heart skips a beat. It can't be him. But alas, Jada's late guest and brother turns out to be none other than my infuriating neighbor. The very same man I've been trying not to think about. So, Imani, this is my big brother Xavier, and Xavier, this is my best friend Imani. Jada introduces us, a sly smile on her lips. I sit there frozen as Xavier smirks at me. It seems like fate has a twisted sense of humor, bringing him into my life in ways more than one just to taunt me.
It's nice to see you again, neighbor, Xavier says, amused.
Oh, about that, Jada looks at me apologetically. I was going to tell you he's your neighbor, but I didn't want to ruin the surprise. I see you've already met, though.
Oh, we have, Xavier says. Your friend here walked into my apartment when I was...
Nice to meet you, too. I jump out of my seat and grab Xavier's hand without thinking. It's a stupid move, but anything to stop him from embarrassing me there. He looks shocked momentarily, and then he squeezes my hand softly.
Hi, Imani.
Oh, shit. Since when did my name sound this good? Hi, Xavier. Ugh. If I described this man as merely gorgeous before, I take it back. He's drop-dead, devilishly handsome. Jerk or no jerk, a blind woman will be able to see that. Xavier's ink-black hair is perfectly styled tonight, yet long enough in places to look relaxed and carefree. Eyes the color of spring grass shine against skin that's surprisingly tan for the cold weather. But I know it isn't from a tanning bed or spray-on booths. The Baker family leans toward dark skin, hair, and rooted riches. Even though he's dressed in a customary white button-up shirt and blue pressed trousers, he still looks like he belongs in the cover of GQ or Forbes. Xavier winks at me and takes the empty seat next to me.
Hey man, how you doing?
He asks Chris, and they start to catch up. The dinner conversation is awkward to say the least, mainly because Xavier constantly shoots glances or winks my way. What is his problem? And if that's not enough, he suddenly directs the conversation at me.
So, what is it about you, Imani?
Nothing, I answer sharply, not wanting to talk about myself. Leaning in, Xavier locks eyes with me and sips his wine thoughtfully.
You know,
he begins, his tone conspiratorial.
I've been thinking a lot about karma lately.
Karma? What brought that on? Jada asks.
Well, he continues, I've come to believe in it. You know, the idea that what goes around comes around.
I know instantly where this is headed, but I feign ignorance. Interesting perspective, I reply, but I've always been a bit skeptical of karma, to be honest. Xavier's eyes dance with mischief.
Oh, really? So you don't believe that if someone did something, say, accidentally walking in on someone while they're naked,
he says, emphasizing the word accidentally with a wink,
they wouldn't deserve a little payback?
My cheeks flush with embarrassment, and I chuckle nervously. Did he just threaten to see me naked? You're crazy, I say dismissively. Typical Xavier, Jada says, and quickly changes the topic. I have an announcement, guys. Please. My 30th is fast approaching, and I want a party, Jada announces.
Don't tell me that's why you forced me here,
Xavier groans, but Jada ignores him. The main part of that announcement is... When Jada stalls and gives me an excited look, I know fate is about to throw another curveball at me, and it's coming through Jada. You, Imani, and Xavier will be the sole planners of the party.